Oh, yes, indeed. To review what's going on politically in the light of that PDP non-elective convention, we've got Senator Ayo Arishe, who is a former chairman, Senate Committee on Privatization. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we've already had some members of the PDP saying they are getting it together, whereas the ruling party, your party, can't even hold the BOT. They've not even held a non-elective Congress, yet alone come up with a strong footing for the coming election. So, is your party panicking already?
Absolutely not. I mean, the PDP is just getting their acts together, and they have a lot of time. They are not in government, apart from the state governors. So the federal government is occupied with a whole lot of activities. I mean, they are trying to get the economy going. They have faced a lot of security challenges, and I don't think the priority is the BOT or a convention at this time. But there's a time for everything. But I'm sure when the right time will come.
You say the APC or the government is trying to fix the economy. They've been trying for 2 years. Have they succeeded in any of this?
Oh yes, I mean it's a lot of improvement. I mean, you look at the N-Power program. You look at the school feeding program,
but
these are growing.
Way below what was promised. I mean, last year, 2016, MBS statistics say that they lost 3.75 million jobs in 1 year. The party promised 3 million jobs a year, and you're talking about, well, less than 500,000 jobs created?
Oh, well,
that's a scratch.
I won't say less than that, because the impact on the economy is greater than the number of people. For example, our only social security comes from family support. And those people that have jobs now, about 200,000, and by this September I understand that another 300,000 jobs will be added through this Empower program. Now you talk about the feeding program, the school feeding program, the local school feeding program that they have. They have employed over 33,000 cooks. And you can see the spiral effect of that. Now, these are not straight things that you just go on the street and give people money. They have this support program for empowering elderly, the not so economic buoyant people, about 5,000 naira a month. And that is going on as we speak. And of course, the number might not be comparable to what they had in mind, but during the first year, I'm sure there are in about 14, I mean the school feeding program is in about 14 states, and the Empower is in 36 states as we speak, today. So it keeps growing. This was non-existent before. So the issue of people losing jobs, yes, of course, people retire. A number of things happen.
No, this is not retirements. These were jobs that were lost as a result of the government policies at the time. Look at the exchange rate.
Yeah.
What would the APC say about that? The exchange rate, the inflation rate in the economy, the recession. How do they define
Well, when you look at exchange rate, there are a number of factors responsible for exchange rate. The income from oil revenue determines what we have in terms of foreign reserve, determines what the exchange rate will be. Now that we have some improvement, that oil went close to $50 or went a little bit over, you can see a lot of stability in that exchange rate regime. Initially, we had less money, less revenue from oil, and of course, it's not by fiat that you can say the exchange rate is this much. It's a question of, yes.
Mr. Arishe, with all due respect, we do know what the statistics are.
Yeah.
When the PDP left office,
yes,
the dollar rate was 165 to the naira. Today it's over 300 to the naira. We do know about a bag of rice that was selling for 9,000 naira. You can buy 2 bags of rice at that time.
Yes.
And the minimum wage was 18. It hasn't changed. Now you cannot buy a bag of rice with 18,000 naira. We're looking at the entire jobs creation.
Yes.
The PDP was able to create 500,000 jobs every year. It did that for that long when it was in office. You came
every year.
You came and then the job figures just dropped, and then you feel comfortable that you have made achievements in the economy. How do you reconcile that?
First of all, when APC came in, the exchange rate was not 165. Let's just get that one straight. It was already around 200. But it's not to justify the increase if there is anything that could be done. For example, APC is not responsible for the drop in oil prices. They are not responsible for those crises in the Niger Delta area that actually ensure that our production went close to almost 1 million.
So what was the,
Yeah.
what at
From
what
$2
point was
something
the,
million dollars.
at what point was the difference? Because if you talk about the Niger Delta Avengers or the rise of militancy in the Niger Delta, how was the PDP able to keep it down? And when the APC came, it just went crazy.
I mean, you have to look at the Niger Delta politics. You have to look at it that
So the APC was not able to play the politics properly.
The president came from the South. And the guys like Tombolo and all these people, they were having a lot of free money, practically speaking. So when they thought that thing was drying up, a lot of crises came up. These warlords, that is their job. It's their business to ensure that, look, they continue to make money. And the government was trying to know exactly how much are we producing, how much money is coming to the economy. Now, you can't get that when you have private people, different people, controlling refineries, their own different refineries, private ones. Now that the government has said that, okay, these people have a role to play, this government moved in and said, we will welcome private refineries. You can actually have your license. And they want to control that and ensure that we know how much we are producing and how much we are making. All these black illegal markets had a role because the private individuals making the money, they will not let go. So again, we will not expect ordinarily that, just remember that most of the voters in the Niger Delta area voted for the PDP, voted for Jonathan, because it's about what is coming to me as.
So what did the
individual.
APC do to convince them not to vote for?
Well,
the PDP
I believe that the trips that the acting president has made to the South, the last meeting that he held with the leaders of the South, these are efforts to ensure that they adequately pacify.
This is what is coming out from the Niger Delta. The youth there are saying that the promises that you made to us concerning the modular refineries, you've not kept to that promise. And because of that, we're giving you an ultimatum and we may even strike. How do you respond to that?
Now, let me put it this way. When you say come in and have a license for a private refinery, a number of people